Well, viewers, learners, today I shall talk about a very beautiful and interesting short story titled A Pinch of Snuff by Manohar Malgonkar. Before I start telling the story, narrating the story of a pinch of snuff, let me introduce Manohar Malgonkar in brief. Manohar Malgonkar is a big name in the universe of literature. Manohar Malgonkar was a great novelist, short story writer, non-fiction writer, an army officer in the Indian Army, a game hunter, a civil servant, and farmer. Manohar Malgonkar was born on 12 July 1913 in Mumbai, Maharashtra, India. He passed away on 14 June 2010 at Uttar Karnataka, India. Manohar Malgonkar penned many novels and short stories. The important novels written by Manohar Malgonkar include A Bend in the Ganges, The Princess, Distant Drum, Devil's Wind, A Combat of Shadows, and others. One of the important characteristics of the writing of Manohar Malgonkar is the Indianism. When we go through the texts of Manohar Malgonkar, we find many important characteristics, many important features of Indian English. Now let me narrate the story of A Pinch of Snuff. A pinch of snuff means a little tobacco that people smell to have satisfaction. It is a sort of sunghni that people smell in order to have the influence of intoxication. So the title of this story is A Pinch of Snuff. There are two important characters of this short story. One is Nanukaka, and the other is the narrator, the author himself. Nanukaka is a different character. He is a villager. He lives in a village, but he has many eccentric features, eccentric characteristics which differ from many other persons, many other people. Nanukaka is going to New Delhi to meet a minister there. The narrator is an under secretary working in New Delhi. He lives in New Delhi. So Nanukaka frequently visits the under secretary who lives in New Delhi. Now, the mother of Nanukaka announces that Nanukaka is coming. Now, the announcement by the mother of the under secretary about the arrival of Nanukaka worries the under secretary. It worries the under secretary because he knows that Nanukaka stays longer in New Delhi, which causes discomfort to the under secretary. The mother of the under secretary tells her son, who is under secretary, that Nanukaka is arriving. So she instructs her son to go to the railway station to receive Nanukaka. Nanukaka arrives in New Delhi. He has some kitten with him. Nanukaka travels on a second class compartment, with third class ticket, and he completes the journey very delightfully, very joyfully. When Nanukaka meets the under secretary on the station, Nanukaka gives the under secretary, who is his nephew, his kitten. The under secretary takes kitten from Nanukaka and he passes through the gate of the station to reach the railway courtyard. There was a surging crowd at the gate. When the under secretary passes through the gate, he bumps into a fat Marwari woman. After some time, Nanukaka comes to the railway courtyard. He is escorted by the TT of the train. Nanukaka explains the narrator, the under secretary, that he bought a third class ticket and he traveled on the second class compartment. Nanukaka tells the under secretary that he has to stay here for a short time. He tells him that he has to see or meet minister in New Delhi. He asks his nephew, who is son of Nanukaka's sister, have you managed for the meeting with the minister? The under secretary tells Nanukaka that meeting a minister is not a simple affair. He is only an under secretary, so he cannot manage the interview, the meeting of Nanukaka with a minister. He tells him that the minister is 2 steps higher than God, and the secretaries are 1 step higher. The story is full of wits, funs, and frolics. Nanukaka goes to the residence of the under secretary. The next day, he tells the under secretary to go to the minister to meet him. The under secretary goes to meet the minister. The minister Nanukaka spends a lot of time there. When he comes back, he tells his nephew that he could not meet the minister. He informs him that he was transferred from one office to the other, from one chaprasi to the other, from one peon to the other, and he could not be able to see the minister, to meet the minister in the North Block in New Delhi. Now, Nanukaka comes back. Then he meets Sohan Lal. He tells Sohan Lal that he knows Hajarat Barkat Ali, who is a commissioner, trade commissioner. Sohan Lal wants to seek help from Nanukaka. Sohan Lal becomes, or Sohan Lal is much influenced by the um, claim of Nanukaka. Nanukaka tells him that he will get his work done by the trade commissioner, Barkat Hajarat Ali. Then he comes to know that Sohan Lal wants to marry his son with the daughter of the welfare minister. But the welfare minister does not accept the proposal of the son of Sohan Lal. Instead, he wants to marry a prince of Ninor. It is a state. Now, Nanukaka is expert in duplicating others, in personating others. He puts on a kurta and dhoti. He has long moustache. He puts on a streaking shoes. He bears a clean turban on his head. In short, his figure strikes one and all. Now, Nanukaka decides that he will go to meet the welfare minister next day in a beautiful big car. Nanukaka manages it very cleverly. There is a shop named Sikka Automobiles, which sells cars. Nanukaka makes up his mind to visit Sikka Automobile dealer. Before his visit, he calls a washerman. He gives him his coat and clothes to wash and do laundry. But he plays a trick here. He takes out a checkbook and writes a check of 1,000. He puts this check inside the coat, in the pocket inside the coat, and gives it to the washerman. When Nanukaka and the under secretary goes to Sikka automobile dealer, the washerman comes to Nanukaka running, brandishing the check. He says, "Sir, mistakenly you had left this check in the pocket of your coat." This convinces the dealer, Sikka automobile dealer, that he is genuine purchaser of car. Nanukaka wants to give this impression to Sikka automobile dealer that he is able to purchase a car, a splendid car, a beautiful big car. Nanukaka takes the car on trial and he goes to the North Block, New Delhi. Nanukaka gets down his car. There is a visitor's book placed there. Nanukaka writes his name under a hereditary astrologer of Maharaja of Ninor. Writing this name and giving the address of the under secretary, he comes back. The welfare minister comes to the house of under secretary immediately. He comes there to meet Nanukaka because he wants to marry the prince of Maharaja of Ninor, where Nanukaka claims to be the hereditary astrologer of the Maharaja of Ninor. Thus, Nanukaka gets success in meeting the minister in New Delhi, giving false impression to the minister and many others. To conclude, this is a very interesting and entertaining short story. The story is full of fun, laughter, and frolics. Thanks.